Hello class, hi everybody, I'm Jay Chavez. As you all know, I'm one of the playwriting mentors here for this Spring 485 adaptations with Camry Chapman, all online because life is a nightmare. Today I'm going to be teaching you about play mapping, which is a very useful tool for when you have a full length or a one act and you have finished your first draft and now you just want to see what it looks like all together. I will be using the first act from my play that I'm currently working on, which is an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. So, the setup is very simple. All I've been using is, I have a ruler. I like to use a scaling ruler so I can get some different measurements. I have classic straight edge, a pen, and then since you're normally supposed to use a massive sheet of butcher paper on a wall, which I don't have, I'm using my tracing paper, which is super easy, and I got it like a Michaels. What you want to do first, and I've already started doing, is you want to make a Y and an X axis. And you just want to go all the way across, kind of make some room. When you use a large sheet of butcher paper, you want to make sure that each increment is going to be about an inch to away, so you can physically see a lot more of it. But what I did was I used the eighth section on mine, so it's only about 2/8 of an inch. So it's much smaller. But what you want to do is you want to go through and you want to make increments for each page of your entire play. It's backwards for me right now because of, laptops. But after that, you want to go through and you just want to number each page. Then this is where the fun stuff is going to come in. You want to, first off, only focus on the x-axis. Don't think about the y-axis yet until you've gone through it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go scene by scene and just put like a block of where that would be and what that looks like. So for my first scene, I have it, I don't have the first page. It's not being used. That's all for like notes and stuff. So I start on the second page. And then, so we have, that's where the first scene begins, and then it ends, and you try to be as specific as possible. It ends right where that big line is, so it's about 2/3 through page 2. Then the real scene 1 starts, and I go through my script, and I find where scene 1 ends, and then you want to put another marker right there, so it is on page 12, but it is 3/4 of the way through page 12. And you're going to put a big marker on there. So, and you want to be as specific as possible. So now I'm going to finish doing the rest of the script real quick. So scene 3, so you can see as I'm doing it, more or less see it. But so scene 2 ends on page 20, and it is about halfway through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where page 20 would be, shablam, right there. And I'm going to put a big old marker right down the middle of it. So, what this does is as I'm going through it, it's a little hard to see, I'm sorry, I can start to see that I have one really long scene followed by a shorter scene, and then as I keep going on, I can keep seeing the length of the scenes that are going on. So I'm going to quickly finish out the rest of this, and we'll get back to this. No, I'm just going to finish this out, actually. It won't take that long. No, fuck it. No, I'm going to keep going. So, it'll be really quick. Scene 4 is at the beginning, page 26. So, it's a very short scene. So, we can see that I have a very short scene immediately following 2 really long scenes. And then scene 5 comes at the top of page 30. So, very simple. And then at the end, that scene ends on page, I want to say 40, 41. At the top of page 41. So now what I have is all these marked areas of how long my play is. And again, I'm sorry this is backwards, but I have marked how long each scene is. And then what you can do is, I like to use a pencil just because it's easier, and it's not as permanent, you know. Lost my pencil. You can just label each thing. So we have, first one we have the prologue, and then we have scene 1, scene, I'm actually going to do it underneath so I can free up the space, because we're going to move on to the y-axis, which is different for every play that you do. The y-axis is never going to be a static thing that you can use when you're play mapping. So let me just, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, 4, and 5. So, now what I want to do, you have to ask, what do you want to think about, and what do you want to look at for your playmat? So for mine, I'm going to do every time there's a vomit, so we can see how many times vomiting happens in my thing. So let's go, I'm just quick searching the vomit in my play, so that we can see. So right now it's 11 times, but we're going to get each individual time that it happens. So, first time vomiting occurs is first time vomiting occurs is on page 3. So we have, right off the gate, we have vomiting. So I'm just going to put, for me, I'm going to put like a little, like a dot, but kind of suspended in the air. So I can physically see that there is vomit that has happened. Ooh, nope, there's not vomit. They say vomit a lot, but not a lot of people vomit actually. Oh, vomit on page 12 at the end. This is a weird thing to choose, but there's a lot of vomit in my play, and I want to make sure I have it spaced out so it's not too much vomit all at once, because I'm the worst. Someone vomits on a tree on halfway through page 29. So we have a long time before someone vomits. Pretty much. That's pretty simple. I could keep going with that. But another thing you can do with play mapping is you can see who's on stage at what time. So I'm going to do, because my focus is on my character Micah, I'm going to go through and see how many times Micah is on stage. And what I can do is, as I'm going through, I can see, like, I can track, like, okay, he's on stage, off stage, and then come again, he'll come back on stage, he'll come back on stage. So you can probably fast forward through this for a quick second, because, you know, it's going to take a bit. So, starts off, first scene. So, I'm going to write down, in my axis over here, I'm going to write down just an MI. So I know that I'm going to be talking about Micah. And then I have my ruler right here, so I can get that lined up. And I can just, you know, make just lines. So Micah does not leave the stage until for a bit. It's when he's chasing someone off the stage, because that's just the kind of play that I'm writing. If you have any questions, you can email me about this. I'm going to try to also post a photo of my play map. Yeah, I just want to get this, like, one exit pursued by Micah. There we go. It's for the Shakespeare New Contemporaries. If anyone wants to talk about that with me, I can. It's very good right now. It's good. So Micah exits on page 9. So I'm just going to draw a line to halfway through page 9. And then put, like, little things. This would be better if I had another camera where I could do both at the same time, but I don't. So, as you can see, I just have Micah over there, and then I have, this is when Micah's on stage. So that we can see, like, how often is this character on stage. It's a very simple thing. It's really useful when you have a first draft. When I did it for How to Clean Your Room, it took about 3 hours to do, and it took up an entire wall in a conference room because we sat there and we went through every individual thing. So it's really good. It's something that you want to do later in your process. You don't want to do it anything like, you can do it with an act of something, or like you can also, if you don't have scenes, and you can do it with dramatic breakdowns. So like a play that happens in real time, that's like 90 minutes just in real time. You can be like, when does action change? Or you can do it whenever someone leaves a room or something like that. It's really good. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can email me or you can talk to Camry. Awesome. I'm very excited for the quarter.